Backchat TV. Subscribe.
What's going on, boxing fans? Welcome to Backchat TV. Let's get straight into it. So, Devin Haney, the undisputed champion at the moment at 135 pounds, finally gets his shot at the Matrix, Lomachenko. He's been waiting for a long time to get his shot at Lomachenko. I don't think Lomachenko ducked Devin Haney, like Devin Haney was saying. I just think it's just the way things worked out. Obviously, when Lomachenko was the champion, he had options and he wanted to become unified. So that's why he was given a pass over Devin Haney at the time. I don't think it was, he purposely ducked him, but that's all in the past now. The fight is really here, May the 20th, Saturday, May the 20th. It's going to be a fight for undisputed. If Lomachenko was to win, you've got to put him up there as one of the greatest fighters. Not of all time, but three-time, three-division champion, lost his belt, and then reclaimed it against a guy who's unbeaten. That would be amazing for him. There wouldn't be much else for him to really achieve. I would probably retire after this fight if I was him. I mean, if he was to beat Devin Haney, there wouldn't be much more to carry on and do at the division. So it would be an amazing achievement for Lomachenko to win this fight. Everything's on the line for him, to come back, to, like I said, to have a loss against Teofimo, and then now to come back and beat Devin Haney. That would put him right back up there, unified champion. He's reached all his goals. He said as a young child, his goal was to become a professional boxer, and then he had another goal to win a gold medal at the Olympics, and now to become undisputed. That would be everything. So he's really kind of on the edge of greatness, if you know what I mean, if he can achieve it. Can he achieve it? Of course, he's got the skills. Highly skilled fighter, one of the most skilled fighters I've ever seen, most people has ever seen, not just in the lightweight division, but in boxing, period. I haven't seen many fighters with the angles, the speed, the reflexes, the athleticism, everything. Lomachenko is literally the complete package. Having said that, in this fight against Devin Haney, I don't actually give him much of a chance to win, to be honest. Most people are saying it's a 50-50 fight. I think it's less than that. I think Lomachenko just is coming to the end of his career. He's 36 now, I think. His age is starting to show on him. Also, the weight class is starting to become very difficult for him. Devin Haney is on the verge of going up to 140 pounds, and he clearly looks like he could be at that weight class and go up to 145. Lomachenko can't. Lomachenko's weight class stops where he is now, and all the fighters at the moment who are at the top of the 135 division, they arguably beat Lomachenko. The likes of kind of Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney and Tank Davis, even Garcia, a lot of these guys are naturally bigger than him, and he struggles with the size of these larger guys, and you can see that in his even in his interviews where he was talking about, yes, a lot of these guys are bigger than him. He's really starting to feel that. Even the fight he had with Ortiz, who was visibly bigger than him, he struggled with Ortiz. Ortiz, the only reason why he beat Ortiz convincingly in the end was because Ortiz has a lack of experience. But when Ortiz was coming forward, you saw the difference in power and strength. It's only when Lomachenko was able to push Ortiz on the back foot. Ortiz didn't really know how to deal with the timing and the speed and the angles, and he just didn't seem to really have a game plan. That's going to be totally different with Devin Haney. Devin Haney has the experience, the skills, the strength, the power. He's a complete package, if you ask me. And I'm a little bit biased because I'm a Devin Haney fan, so I will just put that out there. But I do think that Devin Haney is the complete package. I think Lomachenko would have done better to have fought Devin Haney 4 years ago or 3 years ago, whenever it was now, when he was a mandatory, because that Devin Haney didn't quite have the experience that he has now. I see Devin Haney being too fast, too big, too strong, to be honest. Like I said, he's the same size as Ortiz, and Ortiz gave him trouble, and Devin Haney would beat Ortiz easily. So, I mean, unlike a lot of people who favour Lomachenko to win, I don't think there's that many people. I think actually the tide has shifted, where people used to think that Lomachenko was unbeatable, but now people are seeing the greatness of Devin Haney coming through with the wins that he had recently against Kambosos. You know, he's just looking like a real seasoned professional now, which he is. And I just don't see Lomachenko being able to deal with what Devin Haney is going to bring to him. You know, Devin Haney is a natural 140-pound fighter, whereas Lomachenko has come up 3 weight divisions, and he's probably gone as far as he can in regards to weight. You know, Devin Haney has a huge reach advantage, height advantage, weight advantage, strength advantage, and I think their skill set is on the same level. So there's a lot of things stacked in Devin Haney's in his favour. Also, not even to mention the age difference. How old is Devin Haney now? I don't know, 25 or something. 25 versus 36. You know, there's a big difference there. Lomachenko's only getting slower and slowing down, whereas Devin Haney is actually improving. So, yeah, I think it's going to be tough in there for Lomachenko, to be honest, just to deal with the power and the strength. I think it's going to be tough in there. But it's going to be tough for Haney too. He's fighting a veteran, guy who's not ready to give up that spot, you know, that spot at the top. It's going to be very difficult. You know, it's going to be like, you know, fighting Manny Pacquiao. As he aged, he was still good, but now an aging fighter, and I think that's what we're going to see from Lomachenko. Also, his body language has changed as well. Lomachenko knows what he's up against with Haney. He's very, very respectful of Haney's skill set. He said he's got a lot of experience. He's a good fighter. He's smart. He knows exactly what he's up against. You know, he's young. He knows what he's doing. He's not any kind of Ortiz who's just got, you know, who lacks experience or any of these other fighters that he's fought before. You know, also Haney is much better than Teofimo, and we all know what happened to Loma against Teofimo. Even though Loma was coming back in the later rounds, the second half of the fight against Teofimo, you know, I think Haney would have beaten Teofimo and will beat Teofimo if they meet quite convincingly. And I do realise it's quite controversial to say these things. It seems as if I'm not giving Lomachenko much of a chance, although he's one of the best fighters of all time. I just think it's all stacked against him. Like I said, power, strength, size, reach, youth, everything is stacked against Lomachenko to win this fight. I just think it's Devin Haney's time, you know, and the fighters that are really going to give Devin Haney the biggest trouble is not going to be Lomachenko. It's going to be Gervonta Davis, another guy in his prime. You know, Shakur Stevens, another guy in his prime. Having said that, you can never count out Lomachenko. Those angles, the footwork, the stamina. You know, he really is a top fighter, and I think he's going to give Devin Haney a real good fight. He's got a lot of tricks up his sleeve. Devin Haney has to stay as sharp as he's ever been. But when I've watched Devin Haney, he is extremely sharp. He's good on the inside, which Lomachenko sometimes isn't that good on the inside. And I don't think Lomachenko is going to be able to use that foot speed that he has against Haney, because Haney has the same kind of foot speed, the same kind of hand speed, in order to match whatever Lomachenko is doing in the ring. So I just don't see any area that Lomachenko is going to be able to beat Devin Haney. He's going to have his moments. He'll have a few rounds, but I feel like Devin Haney can set an amazing pace, and I think he can maintain it because of his youth. I just don't think he's going to give Lomachenko much chance to do much in there. Now, the only drawback is Devin Haney does have a tendency to kind of sometimes he loses a little bit of focus, and he's kind of clinching a bit too much. And this is a time when Lomachenko could come on strong. But personally, I just don't think it's going to be enough. I don't think it's going to be enough. I think the bigger, stronger man is going to prevail, which is going to be Devin Haney. And you can kind of see in Lomachenko's body language, like I said, I feel like he knows that this is going to be the toughest fight of his career. And he seems resigned to maybe retiring. I don't know why. Something about his demeanour, it doesn't seem like he wants to be in it that much longer. I feel like he wants to exit soon anyway, and he wants a big fight and to give his all in one fight before he retires. That's just a feeling that I get from him. Whereas in regards to Devin Haney, it's the total opposite. He is just coming into his own. He's coming into his man's strength. He's had some good, tough fights. And I see this being a signature win for Devin Haney. And I think we probably see a retirement from Lomachenko. But we'll have to see. It is, I wouldn't say 50-50, I'd say 60-40 in favour of Devin Haney. Like I said, I am a bit biased because I am a fan of Devin Haney. I really think he's a great fighter. His toughest fights are going to be with Shakur Stevens and Gervonta Davis, not Lomachenko. But let me know what you guys think. I could be totally wrong. I just don't see Lomachenko having an answer for Devin Haney's jab. I think Devin Haney's going to establish the distance, establish that jab, break Lomachenko down with the jab, and there's going to be no answer for it. He won't be able to use his footwork to get in, because I just don't think he's quick enough. Devin Haney's just as quick. He's got a great jab, and I think eventually he's going to break Lomachenko down with it. And then you're going to see Devin Haney start to follow up with hard right hands, and I just think it's all going to be too much for Lomachenko. The size difference is going to be the biggest factor. And even if Lomachenko does find his way around that jab and starts to get on the inside, Devin Haney is just going to clinch him on the inside like he did to Kambosos. So I don't see Lomachenko really having an answer. Am I underestimated the aged competitor? I don't know. He still looks good, but a lot of people look good until you put them in the ring with the top guys like Devin Haney. Even Kambosos looked good, but then he got beaten convincingly twice by Devin Haney. So I don't know. I think it's all stacked against Lomachenko, to be honest. I've got Devin Haney winning probably a majority decision. Let me know what you think. Let me know in the comments. I'm on to the next one. Who have you got?
Subscribe.